evening, traders. Before I start all my videos, this is just to let you know that I am not a financial advisor. Only thing I do is provide entertainment for you and our Twitter and YouTube community. So please make sure to do your own due diligence, DD, before you make any decisions about that. I hope you all have great trading days out there and ahead, and I look forward to the next episode of Bearish or Bullish with you. Have a great day. Good evening, traders, and welcome to another episode of Bearish or Bullish with Mr. Realistic. Hope everybody had a great day out there. I know it was a little bit of a dud. Um, Time to recap. I called a lot of these yesterday in our last episode, of episode 107. So no surprise here. I did a very little bit of buying today because I still am waiting for a little bit more confirmation. From a couple of these plays that I'll go over in a little bit. Um, let's see here. Before we get started, I've had a lot of people ask me if I could go over level 2 with them. So absolutely. All right, so this is what level 2 looks like. This is on the TD Ameritrade app. Excuse me, Thinkorswim, that you can use. It's a great tool. I actually don't even use TD to trade. I have an account with them. I have a bunch of different accounts. So, but I use level 2 on there. I use it on E-Trade. Interactive Brokers has one. I mean, basically almost every broker has one. Depending on which one, there's be fees associated with it. Like E-Trade, I think they charge me like $9 a month, or if I do 25 trades, it's free or something like that in a month. Um, and then, I mean, Schwab, I think was free. There's a ton. Schwab wasn't very good though. It was my least favorite one. Interactive Brokers was me. It is expensive. I think it's like 30 something bucks. Interactive Brokers are expensive, but if you're using that, you're using it because of its speed and quickness and its other advantages, such as like icebergs and things of that nature, where you can have a large order and have it say a small amount. So if you ever see like a 10,000 or a 20,000 order that just you keep putting into it and it doesn't go away, it's because it's called an iceberg, where they can, um, let's hypothetically say there's 500,000 shares behind there, but it's only showing right here that it's right here. This is a perfect example right here. So this is potentially an iceberg. So if we're looking here at 014 10K, this potentially could be more than just 10K shares here, and you'll see a bunch of things on the side right here that will be buys. And you'll see like just a ton of 10,000s going up because people are trying to sell into it or buy into it. Um, and it can't go because it's just a big amount of shares in there that's just not showing. So that's what iceberg is. Interactive Brokers allows you to do that. It's one of the nice features because if I'm trying to buy at a low level and I need a lot of shares, I mean, if I want 5.8 million shares at this price, okay, and that's going to show support and it's going to push the stock up because they're going to see this as a other people are going to see this as a good support where it's going to push the price up if there's a lot of buying opportunities. So instead of doing that, if I want to do that, I do orders of like 10K at that, and I'd say I want a 500,000 shares this price, and I want it to show 10,000 shares only. So people will start giving me their shares, selling them at that price. Um, they could sell it to me in 250 and I'll take it, and it still says 10 until it's all filled up. All right, so it's a good way to do that. It's also a good way to hide your support levels for any type of manipulation selling. So I'll do that as well, where I'll put like millions of shares up on the ask side, or excuse me, the bid side, so that if anybody is trying to drop the price, they don't know how much I have back there. So it's going to force them to give me shares at a low price. Um, and sometimes they can be relentless and not give up, and sometimes they can. Um, so it just depends. But it pays for itself in the long run. Interactive brokers for the OTC side is really expensive, but it can be beneficial too, pay back in the long run. So, anyways, let's get back to this. So here's the current price of 138 at 211 today. Sell and buy side over here. So if you wanted to sell your stock, you could sell 262 shares at 137 right here. There's just two orders added together, and then you buy if you wanted to buy it. The lowest somebody was offering it is at 138. They offered 137.41 thousand shares, the K behind it. So if you see 5.8, you got the M, it's millions. So you can see there's a little bit of a wall here. See how these are adding up. So we're looking at about 1.6 right here, plus all these as well. So, say 175 on that, and then huge support. So I'm going to do a little bit of charting with you and the level 2 as well, so you can see how it played out today. Okay, PUGE should have collapsed. It should have fell down to at least the 120s today, maybe even 110s, and bounced up back to a 120 level. Okay, this is what I call propping up a stock. When somebody puts up a large bid side so that it doesn't fall. Okay, sometimes this is good when the stock is being manipulated, pushed down, and you don't want the shorts or anything like that to push it too far down, which is understandable because it's already been pushed down. This is different. This stock, as we know, all right, I'm going to minimize this and look at the stock. This stock has been running for a long time in the overbought category, which is 70% or higher. Okay, so since this 20th of September till today, it is still considered overbought for 1 month. All right, so it is running hot that whole time. It's in that upper area. We need it to come back into this purple area. I just sent out a tweet before getting on the show about how LES is a prime example of why it is beneficial for this to happen. But before I get into that, let's look at the hourly on today. Okay, so we made we opened up here, started with a lot of selling, bringing us and bounced off the 50 MA at 131 and come back up. We made a bearish cross 2 hours after that. And so we are now considered in a bearish downtrend. Look what it did last time on this. I consider this probably the same thing that's going to happen during this time. So this was from the 12th of October to the 14th, 2 days. Okay, let's see how much RSI cooled from the 12th of October to the 14th of October. I only do RSI daily, by the way. All right, so let's move over here. Let's highlight until we find the 12th at the bottom. 12th is right here. Okay, so we already took a slight dip. We were looking at 74, okay, and then 2 days later, 72. Wow, 2% for those 2 days of quote unquote cooling off. All right, not enough. All right, the problem with this stock and why it is not reaching that is buyers don't see the potential because it has been in this overbought territory for so long. The 8K is great news, okay? But the issue here is that it's just overbought for so long. So what it needs to do is it needs to come down, all right, to where buyers think we get new investors in here because it's a bargain, quote unquote, deal. And it also allows for it to come and kind of like cool its gears off. You don't want the engine to explode, okay? Because if the engine explodes, it's going to take a massive drop. Okay, so as we're going up here, we can see right here it couldn't break 150. We had right here as well, big push up on the day of the news, and we're like, yeah, I got 1.7, woohoo, we're gonna push. And immediately after that, it dropped and equaled the same amount and dropped down to that 150 level. Okay, it actually closed that day at 146. So let's look at that jump. Look, first hour open, jumped all the way up, and then crashed down the next hour because people know that the stock is going to pull back. It doesn't have the strength it did at the beginning because it's getting tired. All right, so as you can see, 150 zone, couldn't break it again, dropping down. The stock is going to drop if it doesn't get the proper cool down. It's running out of chances. And when it goes, we're talking below a penny here at support, which would be the 21 MA on the daily. And okay, so yep, looking right here. So breaking almost down to the 200 down here. We could see eights. It's going to be drastic if we don't get a cool down soon. People don't realize that. So the person doing or persons doing this are hurting the stock because it's not able to break 150. Why would you think that after a 0.12 0.0012 pullback, it's going to have enough steam to push through that? No, it's going to collapse. So if we look literally minutes after I sent that tweet, people were starting to sell into that 5+ million bet at 136, and somebody decided to put another one on there. You can see the manipulation going on right here, literally. All right, it's 211. I sent that out. It's 218 here. All right, and it's put up to prop it up. Okay, so people are manipulating the stock. Keep an eye on that, and that's why we look at this. These are called Dojis, okay? So when you see this, okay, it means the stock, this is on the hourly too, the stock opened and closed the same exact price. This shows indecision between buyers and sellers. People don't want to sell, but people also don't want to buy, so the stock goes sideways and it stays right there. Notice 2 hours in a row. And the only reason it was there is because of that 5 and then later on, 8 million support right there. If that wasn't there, it would have came down. It would have touched here, which it should have, and then it should have went further. Okay, what it needs to do. Now let's look at LEAS and what a proper stock looks like after it takes a short pullback. We should be one more day away from a cool down for PUG, and then we would be making headway. Now we're putting ourselves in a really bad position right now as shareholders. So LEAS had a pullback, okay? They hit here, okay, at 188, okay, and sideways a little bit going through, but they just hit it enough. Look at this RSI right here. It's just, I can't take it anymore. It's too tired. So for 2 days, it dropped from 179 all the way down to a low of 116, all right? 60 pullback, all right, compared to our what was it, 0.0012. Okay, so they had 0.006. It's a huge difference, and this was only in 2 days. Did the stock plummet? No. All right, what happened was it cooled itself down, came into this area where it cooled its body down, or the body of the stock down to 58%. Now at 3 days later, all right, we're almost back up to where we've begun, and now you created this higher low, and soon will be a higher high. All right, this is a great way of how a chart should build. This will continue to push up, and it will continue to come back down, creating those new higher low and higher high, and doing the same thing, creating another higher high after that. That's how you want a stock to do it. This stock is being manipulated, and it's going to crash and burn. Doesn't matter how good a stock is if it cannot get the proper cool down that it needs. All right. You wonder why sell the news happens? Boom. And you know what? That's a perfect way to lead into AHFD. All right. AHFD had their big news today. People were like, woohoo, yeah. Oh, that's a fat red candle. I was wondering if it was going to hold the 4.2 support. I tweeted it out. All right. Wow, shocker. It closed at 0042. Pulled it out yesterday. I mean, these things are right in front of our faces. We just need to be more observant to it. The reason this crashed, overbought since October 1st. This is the highest RSI I've seen yet, is up to 96%. All right. And then came down some. All right. Some. All right. And now it's continuing to fall. You know why? too hot, too long, way too hot over here, and it needs a longer cool down because of it. It ran out of this. When I mean that it's too hot, people also construe this or would call this selling the news. Okay. No, they're selling it because of everybody. It's baked in. It is literally already baked into the SP. All right. So when the news shot, when it was coming out, it should have went at this number or higher. This was what buyers were willing to pay based on hearing that it might happen. And once it did happen, it was too hot already because it's already baked into the price. And so people sold the news. Okay. Looking at this stock, it is going to be fine. We know the indicators are showing that it's great. I'm bought some today and I will buy more probably tomorrow once it shows me that it is consolidating. If we look on the hourly, that's where I like to look for my consolidation the most because it's more reliable because it's doing it for a long time. All right, so as we can see, it is going down. It found some support. Notice the doji right here. Okay, this is where buyers and sellers found their indecision, and that we had an inverted or no, that's not an inverted, this is called a hammer. This is very bullish. So what we shall see now is if this creates an uptick or consolidation right here. So if you did not watch the level 2, I did. They had a strong support at 4241. I can't remember exactly what it was. It's somewhere around there, maybe 4. It was definitely 4-1. I'm almost certain of over 20 million. It got up to 26 million. Okay, at that price, that got destroyed. It got dropped and it hit the low of the day of 39. Finally got more support there of 56 million, I believe it was. It was in the 50s. I mean, does it really matter? All right, so huge support at those levels. That shows me confidence that that is the low. And as we can see at the 15-minute chart here, consolidation is starting to happen, which means the bullish market will come in over this eventually with more buys tomorrow. 30 is just starting as well, which leads me to believe that this will do as well. So what I will continue to do is I bought today, I bought at 4.2 in here, and then I will continue to buy this 4.2, 4.3, 4.5 level somewhere in between here. I don't think we get 3.9. I will definitely put an ask or a bid on that at open. Because if somebody wants to sell that to me, I will definitely take it at those levels as I believe that we will have strong support there. Could be wrong, but we shall see. Let's look at that RSI again. Okay, so we went from crazy hot bacon right here October 1st to finally being in the cool zone. All right. I'm not saying this stock is ready to shoot up because by no means is it ready to. What it is ready to do is to start consolidating, which means that the price action is starting to go sideways and slightly up. So this is consolidation right here. All right. This is a little dramatic of what I'm thinking right now, but we're looking for more of this consolidation, and then this build right here. Okay, so I'm thinking like a quarter of this, maybe a half of this, and then something like this happening, starting the next breakup on the hourly chart. All right, so I will continue to grab quote unquote cheapies down here on this level because I believe that this is a strong play as all indicators on the daily are very bullish. The hourly is very bearish. Look how far these are apart right now. But as long as this consolidates and holds the consolidation and starts to make this curl up like this, that will be very good. I'm confident in buying at these levels because dropping any further than the 3.8 level would be a shocker to me, and I will buy at those levels. That's why you don't just buy everything at one price. You set little buy areas here and there. So AHFD, I am bullish on a reversal here. Consolidation tomorrow into a reversal on Friday. All right, CYBL. I mean, I've tweeted about this a million times. Okay, another stock that was propped up, great stock, but a stock can only carry it so much. As I said yesterday, we will get confirmation of a bearish crossing on the daily, which we did. Didn't matter about this push. We touched a low of 330, okay, 330, and we hit a high of 430. The persons that are buying at the 430 will probably regret that in the short term. Long term, it'll be fine, but you know, why overpay when you can get, this is going to the twos, and then you can get double that. So if we look at it, let me look for a stock. All right, TGGI. All right, daily. All right, so here we go. All right, see the curl down. All right, like this, and now you have the bearish cross. It has a cross here. You could get this consolidation, but the thing is with this is a bad example because this has it has something coming in. So does CYBL, but it's a little different. Where's RGBP? I like to do this because this typically goes. So this is typically what happens after a large run, okay? Large run, very similar to CYBL where it went all the way up to the 7 ranges, okay? And look how it comes back down. We have the bearish cross. So I'm going to move this chart up next to each other so I can switch. Let's go back to CYBL. So here it is. This should have went down right here, very similar, okay, to there, cooled off the RSI. And then right here, we probably would have got a push up with the IR deck, as stated yesterday. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was hypothetically talking through RGBP. So going through down there, if this was CYBL, if they had the cross right here when it was coming through, so let's pretend that that happened right here. All right, we probably got a dip here coming through. IR deck is released, then it would have popped it back up. Okay, that would have been here, and they would be making their way back up. Instead, it got propped up right here. As you can see, U-turn because of this candle right here of the tweet. That shouldn't have happened, and now it postponed it. You guys got a ton of red days after this. This was a false day, and the stock never, the chart never lies, and it's going back down. So now your X is pushed back 1, 2, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. All right, 10 days it's been pushed back from your guys' run. That's a terrible thing. That could kill momentum of a stock. Fortunately, CYBL's got a strong following, so it should be all right. So let's look back and see what happens after the bearish cross. As you can see, it continues here, goes sideways. We might be able to break up through here. I think we will. I think this is more dramatic because RGBP has dilution and they have there hasn't been any news and everything. And this is, I mean, 2 times in a row for them. So I think we do this and then we come back up and we keep going. All right. But now we're talking about, here's the cross right here. Let's say this is today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're looking at probably 2 weeks before a reversal, in my opinion. Okay. So it's definitely it's going to get low. It's going to get low. This is not the low, I don't believe. Let's look at the hourly, get some support reads here. 275 is definitely in play, as it should have went beneath that right here. You know, 220 wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. It's an interesting stock, but you can see the separation on here. All right, we've got a bearish cross coming in on the hourly. You have the golden cross, which is the 50 above the 200, which is good, bullish, because look what happens when it is above. All right, that's long term. And then when it goes bearish, it takes a lot to turn that around. All right, so I mean, even RGBP is bullish for that whole time frame right there, long stock. So this is definitely not good for CYBL. Yeah, and it's gonna happen. And it's going to cross down. Oh, that's the, excuse me, that's the daily. Sorry about that, everybody. I was like, that's not even possible. So as you can see, here's the bearish cross, and they call it the death cross, by the way. The other one's gold. This is golden. All right, this is death, and as you can see, it goes down. I mean, you can look at any stock that's been a runner before, and that's exactly what happens. So that confirmation hasn't even come in on the hourly, and it is coming in within a day or two. I'd say 2. No, I don't know. end of the day tomorrow, Friday, and we're going to see a big time drop in this because of it. Let's see, hourly. All right, we're talking here, cross down here. All right, so look, they tried to save this thing right here, false bump, and that didn't even do anything. Look, barely it got it right here, and then it was a goner. So it's going to take a lot for that reversal. It's going to continue to go. Separation gap right here is showing a continual downtrend. As you can see, it made a bullish mark on the 30, and it is already U-turning back down. There's no way the stock is holding above its current level right now. You know, I've got people tweeting me and say, "You sure about CYBL?" Yeah, I'm sure about it because look, I mean, it bounced. Come here. If people thought they were getting cheapies and they're bounced up, this is a false bounce. It's like kind of that cat bounce that people are saying. They're like, oh, I don't believe this guy. And then, hey, look what happens right afterwards. Chart doesn't lie, everybody. Okay, so CYBL is going bearish for around 2 weeks. I'm saying. I'm going to say a week and a half, 2 weeks. Bearish, could be longer. Could be longer. I think I'm being very generous to the stock after that 10-day push off. So let's say 2 weeks for CYBL before a recovery date for that. So that would put us at the beginning of November. So that makes sense. All right, let's move on. RGBP, like I said, consolidating. Look at continuing to hold that level. You getting those that 200 or 2 cent, 210, anywhere in that range? It's a solid accumulation zone right now. Like accumulation. It's not bearish. It's not bullish. It's sideways. It's boring. It's accumulation time. Look at this too. All right. 50's flattening out because of this. 200's nosediving. I'm buying some RGBP soon. All right. Look at. I just haven't really rushed into it yet. There's so many other places. I really didn't buy anything today other than a little bit of AHFD at that low 4 level, just to start my accumulation zone for that. And I mean, look, it's just gonna flat here, and then it's gonna start doing this and curling up, and people are going to start take notice when it hits those twos. There's no reason to slap the ask because you still got days before it's confirmed, week before it's confirmed too. So accumulation zone, boom, boom. RGBP gonna be pumping. All right, this one's really interesting. VNTH, which I am definitely bullish on. So let's go over this one. Excuse me, getting thirsty here. All right, so as we go here and we're looking, we have a support line right here. I'm going to make this a little darker of a color so you all can see. Let's make it purple. And let's get it flat. All right, that's very much more visible, and I know that will definitely help you all and myself. Okay, so right now I'm thinking, no, it's bouncing off the 8.5 area right here. Okay, so I was having a conversation with another individual that is a stockholder about this stock, that it could go through and break up right out here. It looks good to break by tomorrow. That is no longer the case, in my opinion, at this current level. Okay, and this is why. Huge red candle itself. This prevented, all right, this bullish crossing coming up on the hourly. If this was strong at the current moment, people would have bought and taken that out, and this would have drove this up, which would have made it bullish. But no, as you can see, selling took over and dropped it down. Okay, this is a good thing. All right, don't think of this as a bad thing. Okay, we tend to think of this as, oh man, let's look at the R side. It's hot. It's been hot. It's been hot since 27th, 28th. All right, and we're sitting here on the 20th. Okay, I want this sucker to go flying past the twos. Okay, we need new investors into the stock. We need this stock to drop. I'm saying 7-8. Okay, that's the level I want to see it go to. So if we're looking at 7-8 right here, is it 7-8 or 7-9? 7-9, sorry. So I want to see this at 7-9. Okay, coming down this low. Okay, anything lower than this, it could go. I mean 7-2. I don't care. As long as it cools the RSI down, it's going to be fine. This thing's going to blow up. It's so good. All right. So as we see here, the seller's going in because they're not seeing, buyers aren't seeing value. All right. So it doesn't have the strength yet to push up. We're not going to be able to break this 110 region at current levels. So why even give it a test? So what we do is instead we write it down here. We can consolidate. It's not going to give us enough. Why don't we just take the next 2 days, all right, have this thing come down to our next level of 7.7, all right, down here, all right, even, it's not going to come here. There's no way. All right, so let's say it comes down to the 7.7 level and it holds, bounces, and just kind of consolidates here for 2 days. Monday comes around, pop, pop, that thing's juiced. People have that thing moving, buyers are flooding in, you got new investors, you're going to be good to go. So let's get this thing down to its RSI cooled off. Let's get it into the 50, 60 range, which 2 days will definitely do. A drop of, I didn't even say drop. I mean, we've been in the 80s. Let it go down, let it fall a little bit to the lows, to that 7 resistance right here, or support, excuse me, 7.9 area, and let it go. That should give us enough. I would like to see it come down to around right here at 7.2 personally, as I think it would give us more gas for a bigger run of 2.5, 3 cents. Or at least it gets us going for our next pullback, and we create those higher lows as well. So very bullish on VNTH, but I think we're about to see a pullback, and we're about to see this thing go into the 7s, which is a good thing for this stock. All right, and then Monday time, if this does work out and people let the stock cool properly, just like LES, all right, we come here, 1, 2, and then we're moving up. Okay, slow and steady wins the race. It's not about pumping and dumping. All right, UATG, all right, this had a pullback. It's going to meet resistance right here as these get closer, as it always does. I've noticed that time and time again. The closer it gets, I mean, look how close this one's getting. You know, and you get your sells and your buys are trying to push it down. Bullish side right here, you try to get a little sell and then it shoots up. All right, it just depends, buyer, sellers kind of deal. Trying to see here, what's a very good example. All right, so you got your little sells right here. It's getting closer. I mean, look at these. When these come screaming up right here, dude, they jump. Look at that jump right there. Boom, boom, boom. All right, jumps. All right, so, and this thing's coming to the end of a pennant. This is the next run for this stock. So get ready for UATG to break out here soon. Bye tomorrow for me. All right, so that's in there. Next one is TGGI. TGGI had a bad day today. TGGI finally broke its trend. And as I told you all, once it breaks the trend, it starts a new one. So we have to wait and see where this goes to and finds support. The next support level is 9.3. So expect it to go at least that low. All right. Then we'll probably see 8.7. All right. Strong stock. It'll be fine. It's nothing to be worried about. Let's look at your RSI. Okay. Fine. It just gives you more room to run. Okay, so what you'll do is it'll come down and it'll test these support levels. I suspect that 9.3 will be a pretty strong support level for you all. Also open you up for new investors as well. 8s will definitely get you a lot of new investors to get that push that you need to make it going up again. Because what's going to happen is when people see this and they drop, they say, it's a bargain, okay, and they buy it up there, and then people see the price movement, and the price movement starts shifting, it keeps going higher, and then people are like, oh man, this thing's moving, they jump in and everything pushes it back up. There's no news or anything. That's how it works. It's not bad when these things fall. Let them fall so that you get those new investors to push the price up for you. All right, that's the big thing. TGGI would be fine, but it needs to find a new bottom. Okay, TONR. TONR had a breakup this afternoon. As you can see, let's look at the daily real fast. It's following this trend. Another trend line here, because this is what I was thinking it's going to be. Yep. So we got the end of a bullish pennant right here. And the bullish pennant, it broke up and through here, because if it went down below, we all know what would happen there. It has to find a new bottom. And going through. So somebody somewhere said, I'm going to make it happen. and they created this bullish pennant breakout. As you can see right here, this will definitely be coming back down. This is false until there is something going on here. I do not believe that this will hold. I could be wrong, but I believe this will come back down. But that's all it was. It was a breakout of the pennant, and that's why you get these bursts of energy coming through here and coming back, and it looked like it was going to fall back down, but as you can see, it bounced right off of that trend line. I didn't have the trend line up. It's hard to do a lot of stuff at work. So that's what happened right here, and that's why it's moving up, but you'll definitely get a pullback there soon with no confirmation of pink status as well. Kind of bullish long. All right, KYNC is frustrating again. As you can see, it was starting to consolidate, and ooh, somebody dumped. Somebody got out, and they said, I'm done with this, and it continued the downtrend again. So I don't know what to tell you other than frustrating stock of all time. Okay, doesn't make any sense. It needs to find bottom. Once it finds bottom, then we'll move back up. Need volume for that. Bearish. CFGX going through. This is going through as well. Did a little better. This is what I'm kind of worried about with CFGX is look at this curl right here. It has done this before and come down. But it's getting really close to these trends. These trends are going to have to move out this way now. So let's hit that. So let's look. So pullback coming in. It's got to be because look what it did last time. It curled right here. Okay, it pulled back down and then it dropped right here. All right, so I mean, it was sitting up here at 2.4s, right around this level, and then boom, hit one of the low at 16 3 days later. Okay, because of this turn, and then somebody bought it, shot it back up, hammer candle, bullish, and shoots it back up. Okay, that's what happened there. So I'm expecting a big drop or some type of drop in CFGX where I'm going to get ready. And if it bounces, I'm going to have it ready right here at the trend line, 2-1. All right, 2-1 is where I'm putting it at. 2-2 maybe because I just want a little bit for 2-2. And then see if it bounces off of there. All right, bounces off there and goes up, I'm making money. If it goes below there, I'll hold for a little bit because I'll be able to get it back at that level, I believe. But it's just false. Let's see if it continues that trend. So let's see how that goes. Yeah, I like this. I hate these low double O's like this because they're just really hard. See, going up, going up. I'm expecting this down and then back up. So maybe let's see how that goes and plays out. Bearish tomorrow, or maybe yeah, bearish tomorrow and Friday for the for CFGX. Okay, so JPEX. Whoop whoop! Finally broke out. Look at that thing. Chugga chugga choo choo. That thing is moving and grooving. Not even in the oversold right now. It's good. But when you get a candle that large, usually you get some selling and profit taking right after that. Sometimes. Or sometimes you get this and then you get a nice pullback. Okay. So I just can't justify buying at this level right here because I know at the best, like, let's see, where did this go at? This candle's high was 288, okay, and this low right here is 263, okay. I mean, right here, you could buy this right here at 265 the next day. So I'd buy 265 the next day on the drop, okay, just a little bit, and if it come down by a little bit until it pops back up, all right. But I can't justify buying the top right here, so I'll buy somewhere in here level and then go. It's got to come back down some until the news comes. It doesn't make sense for such a big one unless something doesn't drop tonight. We'll have to see. All right, so slightly in the oversold actually area right here, but it had a nice cool off, so you're gonna have a good run there, JPEX. Whoop whoop. All right, coming down to the end. ETEK. All right, something I wanted to show you about this one. This one took a nasty drop today, and it's been dropping ever since. Yeah, I'm on the hourly. I keep doing that. Sorry about that. Okay, it's been taking a nasty drop because this was a bunch of nonsense. Like I told you all, amended filings is like getting a spike on this. This is the participation award right here. Okay, kids got bored with the participation award and threw it in the trash can as they should, and it's just dropping down because of that. And so that was these 2 days, and it was going to continue no matter what, but it dropped this much because of something even worse. All right. So if you, because of the new rules, and I know this because I contacted OTC Markets because of INTK, and they said, all right, we know what it is. If you go on to OTC Markets, they have a warning. This security is eligible for unsolicited quotes only. All right, let's read over this portion right here. This stock is not eligible for proprietary broker-dealer quotations. All quotes in this stock reflect unsolicited customer orders. Unsolicited only stocks have a higher risk of wider spreads, increasing volatility, and price dislocations. All they have to do is put in a form and get money market. They need money makers, which are called MMs, if you ever see about that. INTK has been like this forever, since the deadline kicked in right here. So not good news for you all. Good news is INTK has been holding out pretty well because it's good stock, and um, so is ETEK will hold out pretty well, but I don't know. Since it's a lower price, some people might get impatient. We'll see how it goes. But you're going to get wider swings. So if you don't know what a money maker is, let me see. So right here, okay, you see all these little names right here. These are companies that put in the bids for buys and asks, okay, and they make money, and they make money by selling, shorting a stock, or buying and swinging it, that way. And there's multiple ones on a exchange, and you've got to have at least two or more money makers in there. Without the money makers, it's you and me in retail, okay? Just trading. That's it. So when you go onto your level 2 and you put INTK or ETEK in there, the only thing that's going to show is probably nothing here, or and maybe like two here, all right, or one thing here and this. It's because there's no money MMs. Should make that MMs right here. So there's no GTSM, there's no CDEL, all right. There's no Knight, okay, no Jane, all right. All these, there's nobody on there, all right. So they need to find somebody to put on there. So that's the issue right now. They have to find some. They have to find two. They have to get the form signed and send it into the OTC markets, or they have to become pink current. Okay, and we know that they're in the weight of pink current right now. So, looking at probably, I don't know, November time for that to happen. All right, so you just hold and wait. If you get impatient, you might be able to snag a good deal. I think E-Trade's the only ones that are allowing to buy these things. Don't quote me on that anymore. I haven't checked in a while. But that is what it is. So that's what a money market does. A lot of people complain about CDEL, swiping the bid and everything. Guess what? These companies right here work for retailers too, because your broker contacts them, and they are the ones that issue your buy and sell orders as well. So just because there's an order with Citadel sitting at 5 million on the bid doesn't mean it's a MM. Okay, it could be a retail investor trying to manipulate the price as well. That is something to keep in mind. Okay, a lot of people are blaming them. I'm not saying by any means they're clean. I think they're shady as F, but my opinion as well. So, I mean, you gotta be careful. All right, so and understand that as well. But that's why that is not moving. All right, and then as we look through here, and we're going through, it's just you're going to see these large wicks right here. And I'm going to show you exactly what the chart will start to look like, because those large swings that they were talking about on the OTC markets, they look like this. All right. So this is what has been happening to INTK. People have been buying and selling. Remember, the body of it is open and closed. So it opened up here this day and it closed down here if it was red. If it's green, it opened here and closed here. Anything in between is what happened throughout the day, the wicks, the long parts. All right, so somebody, okay, when this first happened, they bought a low of 0005, steal of the year. Okay, let me move over here. 004, steal on the low, and then you're talking about a low of 002, 0066, 008, 0081, 008, 0035, 01, 0077, 005. I mean, look, and then we're talking about the highs on these days. High 144, 142, 125, 132, 132, 120, 119, 130, 140. I mean, the swings are crazy because they don't have moneymakers giving these shares out and going there. It's just retail. And the hard thing is, retail can't buy. So, who are you selling to? And that's where you get these swings to as well. So somebody's getting in there and snagging up some cheapies on INTL and are loading the boat as well. So that's what's going to happen probably to ETEK until it gets pink, unless everybody holds, which is be shocking. We're talking about an illiquid stock where it becomes extremely impossible to sell. That is the worst position you want to be in. Okay, so we gotta wait for it. All right, so we have PJET here. This is an inverse hammer. Yeah, that's going to be a nice day tomorrow. All right, so I'm expecting a bounce right off of there and coming up. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. I gotta look into that. So as it goes, it comes up and it might come down some. I hear a whisper in the bushes that PJET's expecting news tomorrow. We'll see. See how it goes. RSI's cooled off, so it's good to go. It's great stock anyways. I don't want to waste your time here. It's going to be fine. All right. This is just an accumulation stock as it goes and coming through until news, and it just rides the chart up. All right. A lot like Fern. All right, everybody. Well, that is the end of our episode of Bearish or Bullish. Please keep in mind with these episodes that I am not a financial advisor and that anything I say or do is completely entertainment purposes. I hope you all enjoy the entertainment, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of the week. I will catch you all later. Have a great day. Bye.